Let us make a simplified scheme of the histology of the adrenal or suprarenal gland. The whole gland is surrounded by a fibrous capsule, which is dense collagenous connective tissue. And it contains two completely different compartments with two completely different types of tissues. But first, let us consider the circulation. The arterial supply is provided mostly by 3 suprarenal arteries. I'll include only one. But just to point out that there is a cortical, subcapsular plexus, and some of the arterioles are running into the deeper portions, into the medulla, where they branch into medullary capillary plexuses. They are drained by a large suprarenal vein that could be found in the medulla, and then it's leaving the whole organ. So we got suprarenal arteries, the superior middle and inferior, by the way, and we got the subcapsular plexus, because this is the fibrous capsule, right? And then we got the medullary plexus. Drained by the suprarenal vein. Which is a tributary of either the vena cava or the renal vein. So we got two compartments here. The central one called the medulla, and this is surrounded from all sides by the cortex. The medulla the adrenal medulla is actually a modified sympathetic ganglion so it actually belongs to the autonomic nerve system, namely to its sympathetic part. We got neurons here that do not have processes, but they produce hormones into this capillary plexus. These are post-synaptic hormone neurons. Because they are stained with some salts of chromium, they are also known as the chromaffin cells, and they are producing noradrenaline or norepinephrine, that's the same, and also adrenaline, epinephrine. These belong chemically to the so-called catecholamines. I call this neuron post-synaptic because the sympathetic pathway consists of two neurons, and the axon of the first neuron comes along the arteries, and here it interpolates on the cell body of the second neuron, and that's why the second one is called postsynaptic. So here will be the first sympathetic neuron or axon of it. So this is actually nervous tissue, a sympathetic ganglion. You can find also some glia cells there and blood vessels. Well, the cortex is completely different. The adrenal cortex is made of trabecular epithelium, trabecular endocrine epithelium, and these trabecules are organized in different way. That makes 3 zones with different architecture of these trabecules. Right below the fibrous capsule, the trabecules form this kind of glomeruli, the trabecules are bent in this way. That's why the first layer is called zona glomerulosa. The cells are kind of slightly eosinophilic, and this layer is producing mineralocorticoids. The functions of the hormones will be explained in your physiology classes. Just for now, it's good to know that important representative of these mineralocorticoids, it's aldosterone. In the next layer, the epithelial trabecules, they run more or less in a parallel way. They might branch, they might anastomose, but the prevailing direction is perpendicular to the surface. So they form kind of fascicles. That's why this layer is called zona fasciculata. Fasciculata. It produces glucocorticoids. Once again, glucocorticoids. The main representative being the cortisol. With C. The spelling is C. C-O-R-T-I-S-O-L. The cells here in that layer are large, and they contain lipid vacuoles, these with precursors of the steroid hormones, namely the cholesterol, which is on the beginning of the synthesis of these steroid hormones, which are, by the way, synthesized on a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So these are lipid droplets, and this layer very prominent. In the third layer, the trabecules run in various directions, forming kind of a network. And network in Latin is called rete or reticulum. That's why we call it zona reticularis. The cells here are slightly eosinophilic, and this layer is producing androgens, which are male sex hormones, mainly the dihydroepiandrosterone. So even the female organism contains cells producing male sex hormones. Here they are. They are blood sinusoids belonging to these plexuses, into which the hormones are released, and there is interstitial connective tissue here surrounding the trabeculus. So there is interstitial connective tissue with sinusoids, which are special type of capillaries with higher permeability. For some students it's difficult to see this pattern at first, so if we should make a pictogram of these three layers, then we have the zona glomerulosa, where the trabecules are organized in this way. We have the thickest zona fasciculata, where the trabecules run like this, and the zona reticularis, the closest to the medulla, where the trabecules run like this. So this would be a pictogram of these three zones.